pow wow yo yippee yay guys, pound number 31, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. As always, we will dig dive into the love of the community, then talk about what's happening on SwissBorg network, and talk about the royal battle meme contests, the battle royal meme contest, which is really good, and we have really good new ideas about this. This week is going to be PONKE versus the cat, the smart army of green helmets. PONKE versus one of the very vicious and beautiful at the same time MEW cat token, cats in a dog world, which is gonna be really cool. And as we'll talk about how we're gonna grow these communities thanks to these lovely tokens. As you guys know, my name is Sarah Swizzell. I'm the proud founder and CEO of SwissBorg, always here to serve you. Question of the week, Oster Thays. Thank you very much for this question. Why is Borg not profiting from the Solana boom? Very good question that we need to solve very quickly. Number two, Mother is not tradable in the app. That's not true. It was, the size has been reduced because at sometimes essentially it was not, they didn't have enough volume. So we had to adapt for that. And sometimes it is possible that there is spreads because essentially whenever you buy the token, then you have a lot of trade errors. So it gets in with a spread in order to make sure that you fulfill your full order. This is still being worked because, as you know, on DEXs and sexes is very different to fulfill these orders. But we're trying to make sure that essentially you're able to process Mother. So let's say if Mother has like one, and in the pool of Mother, there's a 1% as well, fees in it. So that these people don't realize that that's where they make a lot of money. There's 1% fee in that pool if you trade through a DEX, so through Radium. So I think that's the second reason, and we could potentially put a little bit more to make sure that the trade goes well. But for the Mother, again, there's 1% essentially in the pool itself. News of the week. I mean, this cannot be. This was one of the most important. I think so. That's what I tried to explain as well on Twitter. Everyone's talking about the Olympics, how bad it was. I didn't personally think it was so bad, but my main concern was it was not the most important thing of the day. I was just very willing to hear the speech of not Donald Trump about the future of crypto. I think I want to make this thing very clear. As a kid, growing up, I really liked Donald Trump. Then him becoming a president and some things, I didn't support everything. But what I'm now very much interested is to understand when are our two worlds merging with the TradFi and the DeFi, right? With the on-chain, off-chain and the on-chain world. And this could only come with states, regulation, and politics. As much as we want, there's too much money involved in this technology to not go through the regulatory bodies. And what we know is that the US has been always very against crypto, period. And that's not Biden. That has been every government. I mean, Trump was not against it, but he was not for it either. But Obama's administration was definitely not for it. And before that, it didn't exist. But essentially, it didn't. Obama or essentially before any administration were never for crypto because they understand the game. The dollar has been one of the best meme coin of all time, where essentially they could accumulate the amount of debt doesn't really matter. They will always find buyers to it, right? So today there's 32 trillion, 12 trillion has been added as debt. It's the biggest, craziest Ponzi scheme of all time. And if people start looking at Bitcoin as a new way to essentially trade, or even crypto itself, a new way to start trading with countries that don't need to go through the banking cartel that exists and use stable coins or use other different type of coins or like Libra, and it's like, this is a huge thing, right? So obviously the US has never been pro crypto. It gets to a stance where Biden's administration has, or at least the SEC that was close to that administration, has really done everything to kill crypto. And obviously, as I always said, you cannot kill crypto because everyone will see the opportunity as technology. It's not just money. It's not only just it's data, it's technology. And it's a much better technology for so many different use cases. So now we know that Trump made the speech at Nashville, which was huge. The idea here is to sum out of it is that he wants to have a pro administration for crypto. wants to maybe fire people from the CC. I don't know if he's allowed or not allowed, but he wants to put a pro thing of crypto. He wants to have a clear regulation. He also has a clear body that could have a real crypto policies for the US, which is going to be really good for the world. And second, what is even crazier is that they already have 220,000 Bitcoins. He said he didn't want to sell it for the next 20 years, but more importantly, he wants to make a reserve of Bitcoin that should grow to 1 million Bitcoins. And, you could probably say, oh, this is not that good because at the end is that crypto is a thing for the people and all that. And I do agree to some extent in ideology, but think about the buy pressure that's going to happen on Bitcoin if this does happen. America will be the first, but then who's going to be after, right? There will be this competition of countries that will starting to do that, and national banks around the world will start accumulating, or if not the countries themselves. New Jersey has just said clearly that they're going to put Bitcoin they already put ETF Bitcoin into the treasuries, right? So this is going to be a really very interesting moment geopolitically that Bitcoin is going to play a big role in the world. And it's already been playing a great role in a social aspect, on a wealth aspect for the individuals. But now we're going to see this more as a geopolitical tool that everyone could play with. And no one could really be, taken out of it, not like the dollar. So I really see this as a massive, huge win for us. A really very important win. One of the most important potentially speech has happened was last Saturday. And if these words convert into actions, maybe he's not going to get elected. Maybe all of this is just to win votes. I'm not against that theory. But if it does happen, and if it does, it's going to be a new game. Because we know how much Wall Street, Larry Fink, we know how much all the big financiers, from the hedge fund guys, gurus, to the biggest ETFs, the biggest asset managers, to the pension funds, to the banks, to the super banks, everyone knows the value of Bitcoin. People now with ETF and the new IPO of Ethereum understanding, obviously, what's Ethereum. And then after that, what's it? Is the applications that are on top of it, and how these applications change the game. And eventually, how SwissBorg, the board token, could be a good fit for all these different investors as well. And I think so this is something that is beautifully, and how, we'll finally be able to have real world assets and all that, and the tokenization of so many great companies and so many other things that we still haven't figured out. So that's why I'm very, very excited. I'm not excited behind the man. I'm not against the man either. I'm not a politician. I don't care about politics. What I do care, though, is SwissBorg, our interests, SwissBorgers, and how we get to financial freedom. And if it's about countries saying yes to crypto, yes, that's moving our agenda, and it's a great one. And I believe that everyone has done this. And many people already create a framework in Europe, some in Asia as well, but there's no real government that has really shown like, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin, right? And that's really different. Of course, there's Naib that did a great job, but El Salvador, it's a small country, right? There's no big countries that have yet to do that. And if that's going to be happening, oh my. And so sad that the Germans sold their Bitcoins, by the way. Market update. Long story short, we've been waiting for this for a long time. The ETF of the Bitcoin has been the biggest ETF, the most successful launch of ETFs in the history of ETFs of the last 10, 20 years that ETFs exist. So this is something that's really, really, really interesting to see. What you saw is a lot of outflows as well, going out from GETH. That's one thing. So the Grayscale Ethereum Trust has roughly $1 billion outflow since the beginning. Well, that's normal because it's more expensive. The net ratio of issuers stands flat is negative. So there's a little bit less than 338 million that has been withdrawn. We're waiting definitely for a slowdown from the Grayscale outsale to see the real effect on the price. What we have to as well understand is that Nasdaq saw its worst close in 18 months with the 1 trillion cap erased, 750 million, okay, which was crazy. And that came from just few of them. Of course, some stocks have gone over crazy, worse than crypto itself, right? Like such as Nvidia, but there's been other ones. Bad earning for Tesla, Alphabet, and others has made a big drop. What we do expect from this is there is a bit some tension, but the inflation is doing quite well. So tomorrow there's the Fed happening. Don't expect anything to happen, but it looks like, and I've been saying that for a long time, but the cut should happen in September. So starting September, we're definitely going to go into new territory. This is really, really, really good. There's as well this new Trump trade is happening on anti-inflation assets, which is really good. And this is a big hope for crypto. And he said very clearly that through his last administration, things have went very well. He wants to push this again. He likes risk, he likes business. There's no doubt about that. The good side as well is that the Mongol seller is softer than the German government. That's for sure. It's happening very smoothly. And last but not least, the main, I would say, things that are still the most exciting is still deep in AI and memes, right? These are really the three different themes of this year, and it's continuing to show itself how it's done. Maybe last but not least, the correlation between Bitcoin and gold is a little bit higher than it was. So you really see this nice jump, but look, it's pretty cycles that do like that as well. And the opposite, though, which is very nice to see, is we're seeing a low correlation to stocks, the S&P 500. So right now it's very, very low, as we see. So this is always interesting to see how things get correlated and uncorrelated. This is some data, and I think so next week we're going to have even more better data regarding the thematics, right? And for this, you know what? I'm going to change my beautiful, because we're talking about money. Let's put those graphs behind, right? So what is very interesting here, the most interesting for me is this. If you look at the golden thematic since the launch, it has had essentially the same performance, gold and Bitcoin versus just Bitcoin itself. So you see here, the purple is the thematic and green is essentially Bitcoin. Though the golden thematic, Samson, has a Sharpe ratio of 1.7. I think so Bitcoin has 0.7 or 0.8. So you reduce your risks by twofold and getting the same performance. That is insane. So it really shows the resilience of this beautiful, essentially thematic. It really shows that our AI is really able to figure out when to buy Bitcoin and when to buy more gold and play vice versa, right, in a super way. So this really shows again that this is a very nice tool for savings, right, where you just put those money in that golden thematic and you just don't touch it, right? It's not maybe the best for the bull market if you're more active. So myself, I think so in the beginning of this year, I changed a bit. So I went out of the golden thematic and I bought some Bitcoin with that golden thematic. Because I said, I don't care about the risk. I just want to have absolute performance, not based on the risk units, right? So, but if you look at the long run, it's much better to essentially be there because you have the same performance with half of the volatility, which is really good. We see the RWA here that is doing quite well as well. We see that it has had some crazy times, though things essentially have been a little bit dipping here. The banter has performed very well. Congrats to him. It's performed better than the Bitcoin itself, so which is really, really good. And since inception, we see this even a little bit more better here. RWA as well as that outperforms just since last 15 days that hasn't outperformed Bitcoin itself. If we look a little bit more, and by the way, if you like these things, please let us know. We're trying more and more to bring you guys with more financial analysis. So we're going to have some Sharpe ratios, which is performance divided by the risk. You're going to have some Sortinos, which is performance divided by the max drawdown, or not exactly. I don't remember how to calculate that one. Long time I did this. But anyways, it looks essentially a lot of different ratios that could enable you to have more, let's say, data-driven investment decisions. And it could better for risk. Web3, if you guys noticed, last 2 weeks, it's slightly not performing as well as Bitcoin, but it has really outperformed since day one massively, right? So this is another one that has done extremely well there. The mem theme to thematic is the same. It's crazy. If you look, and especially recently, if you look at the gaming, it's the only one that recently is not doing very well. The gaming is definitely not yet the big topic of this narrative. It might change though. It's pretty much everything is still red this week, though some Solana tokens are doing well, and congrats to Aave as well picking up. One token to talk about is Jito. You probably got some. If you were staking some SOL with us, you got a nice airdrop there. Jito is doing very well. It's beating actually Lido in terms of fees, because the staking is, even if they have less AUM, the less assets, essentially, well, you get better fees, better staking through Solana. So this is very, very interesting to see. Now we're back at the $3, which I think so was the price initially from its TGE. Battle Royale, guy, this is the exciting time. This is the time that we're going to actually be able to show who is the best to win the meme coins Battle Royale SwissBorg. I think so. This is a great initiative. I hope you guys are enjoying it. As you know, we're in the quarterfinals as we speak. Dodge has lost versus Shiba. So Shiba is in semifinals. Then we have the quarterfinals that happened of the best dogs of Solana. And you know what? Dog with a hat did not win versus PONKE. And I think so that was a good choice, by the way. We have Floki that fought versus Pepe. And for whatever reason, my frog didn't make it. So another dog gets to qualify to the semifinals. So you'll have two dogs competing. The Solana dog versus the Ethereum dog, I guess I should say. Shiba's quite Ethereum dog too. Then you have right now the quarterfinal is between two projects that I personally think are very cool. We have PONKE, which is the monkey of Solana. I think so is really the one that's showing how crypto degens is all about, and how all this is so fun to see these beautiful stories. It's a great team behind it. And you have MEW, the cats in the dog world, that is really backed by a strong Asian community that are doing very soon, I think so, animations. They're going to have series around it, and how to show how this cat meow is definitely a great token and a great hero within the Web3 world. So let's get into it, and I invite Benji as well to defend who's the best. Let's fight.
To battle!
So here he goes, guys. This is the last quarterfinals, and it's not about the dogs anymore. It's about the number one monkey and the number one what, Benji?
Cat. Indeed, we're finally going out of the dog's kingdom and onto the other animal that we can capture for our pleasure. Cats.
So what's about PONKE? Look, PONKE for me has been we talked about this last week. After Pepe, PONKE for me has been the second best meme tokens. These guys have been creating daily posts on Instagram that are amazing. Myself, to be honest, I didn't even realize it was a token, but I was already following PONKE. I thought it was hilarious. It's always about people trading, making the wrong mistakes or making the good mistakes, having this really daily posts which are very, very funny. And the beautiful thing is that being able to bring in a lot of different influencers. They've been able to essentially bring a lot of green helmets to around the world. And if you look at what has happened recently of PONKE, it went from, a token that was, only on Solana's dexes to grow to be the 169th token. It did extremely well recently. We're now at over 300 million of market cap. It's been listed on Bybit. I think so that has pumped a lot, obviously. but as well on crypto.com as well. So they definitely have 2 tier 1 listings that helped a lot. And I think that the team is strongly dedicated to push even further the PONKE army, to put more and more animations and fun things around it. I really like what these guys are doing, and I still believe that we definitely need a monkey as a meme.
Yes, I think that makes a lot of sense, but I think that Mew is a very strong contender against your monkey. Indeed, cats are extremely important and they're very undervalued in the European market. We have no idea how important cats are in the Asian culture. Mew right now is a token with a 600 million market cap. This is huge for a meme token, and also they've been growing immensely. You and I know when we go into an Asian shop, there's always this good fortune cat that goes like this. He's not dancing, he's waving, and it's actually a cat that's representative of good fortune and luck. This is because it's a symbol for Asia, and having a token associated with a symbol makes for an extremely strong brand from the get-go. Being the main reference for that symbol in a whole culture in cryptocurrencies makes it also very, very strong. On top of that, it has burnt a lot of tokens. It has ensured liquidity and stability in terms of price. You can stake it. They have trading competitions. They have animations, and they have a huge community that are extremely active and willing to share. I've interacted with them quite a bit, and it was very, very interesting to see how welcoming they are and how willing they are to share their interest, share their love, and do all of that for free.
That is really well put. I already have a green helmet. I do have as well admiration for that cat too. I do believe that this is definitely a token to be considered. I hope we have listed it actually 2 months ago. What was $100 million market cap? I think so I bought it much even cheaper though. It's already has a little pump, but I still believe that what they're doing is very different. To go back to your team, the Mew token, Cats in a Dog World, I think so. It's really cool. It has a strong narrative, and I do agree that it's already a 600 million, close to 600 million market cap. So it's a huge token, right? It's a token that has already had a huge following in Korea, but as well in Asia and in markets. And as you said, the cat is a huge thing for Asians, right? It's a big thing. That little cat that does that money thing, right? Is really the god of money, right? And the good thing about Asia is that they have this army culture, right? Which is really, really good. Yeah, I know. What can I say? I just talked to the team. I know that there's a few things that are being cooked. There's animations that they partner up with the Cats in a Dog World. So I think there's gonna be really cool stuff there going on. And yeah, I'm excited about both. I actually own already both. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. Think the PONKE army is really this international crowd, a lot as well based in Europe, and I think so. What they've done to Instagram is unprecedented. Really, I think what they've done with Instagram for me with these shorts is just something different. It's beautiful. And that doesn't mean that converts into token holders though, but it does believe that they really have strongly put something new into to be one of the most successful channel on Instagram. What do you got with that?
I think you did a little bit of an M&M here where you threw all of the arguments I had and handed me the mic. But I think that after having reviewed the first or maybe 8 biggest crypto meme tokens by market cap, we can definitely see a few things. They're all going into a certain direction and how they want to be sustainable. But the main driver of success is going to be their IP and how they're able to be unique and stand out. For Mew, I think that there's a very, very strong concept there. There's a joy of holding that token. There's a symbolism behind. There's a culture behind it as well. That goes beyond just memes. It also, of course, includes memes, but it goes beyond that in which that it's the companion of humans, outside of dogs, obviously, and that symbol of luck and good fortune in a financial instrument. So I think there's something that's very interesting and unique there, and I can't wait to see what they are going to be building, because that's also something that's going to be very, very important for the longer run.
What we're going to do for these two tokens to get listed on SwissBorg App is something very new. We're going to call this a proof of community. Both projects are going to have to battle not only through Twitter, but they're going to battle as well to see who has the biggest European community that's going to download the SwissBorg app and is going to deposit $50. The winner of these two are going to get a guaranteed spot for listing. And for the second one that doesn't, if the numbers are quite high, I mean over 1,000 users that have deposits, we're going to figure out another way to get them listed. So this is going to be very exciting, and we'll see that if it's really a strong army that do have a European community, and this is a good way for the PONKE army, but as well the cats and the dogs world to show that they have a strong presence and they have the green loving hearts. So again, if you vote for cats in the dog world, or if you vote for PONKE, both projects seems extremely legit. We've talked to the teams. It's great memes, and I'm very bullish about both of them.
Me too. And may the best win. Let's go.
Indeed. So guys, it's up to you to figure this out. Obviously, both tokens are now already quite solid, right? We're 300 million and 600 million market cap. So this is the score. The scores has been a little bit better actually to MEW itself, because they've done very well, I would say, in terms of the product. That's done very well. The popularity, as it's a great Asian thing. The people behind, we both like the teams. I want to put it more to people though. The privilege is a bit higher there, though both of them are very good. The key features from PONKE today, to sum it up again, active community engagement. The Instagram is beautiful, great Twitter as well. Environmental considerations, they're playing with like FIFA and all that for the World Cup. And we're trying to bring all the celebrities and things that are very funny. It's on Solana, and they're trying to integrate with existing ecosystems. The key feature now for MEW is the integration with my Ether wallet, developing staking, the MEW Connect and a mobile application that they talked about it, access to DeFi, soon the show that's going to be happening. There's a lot of different trading communities, and again, has a really big Asian following. Guardians of the Borg, the vote goes live on Thursday. So option 4 is a promotional campaign. What do you want to see us to promote? Again, make your choice. It's going to be really cool. Talking about that, I wanted to, very exciting times that 3 million plus Borgs have been bought back by the Guardians. Thank you for this. It's very, very cool to have. Alpha updates, privacy. Let's check it out. So privacy, we're going to have a deep dive into this tomorrow, but we know that the ID is something that's big, right? And we know that going forward is going to be very difficult to know if you're talking to a human, if you're talking to a real person. And Web3 is definitely something that could empower us to have this proof of humanity, right? And with, of course, we know we're big partisans and huge partners of Galactica, and we believe that there's more things to be done, and this is really what it is the idea is to create a unit NFT creation that will essentially be like an SBT that enable you to prove that you're human. These guys have invested into a lot of different ways of technology, software, to enable people to verify the veracity of your identity. They have essentially an app themselves that you could check it out. They have as well already quite a big community. They have developed their own protocol to verify what it is. They have as well quite a big extensive network behind them. They have Binance Lab, they have OKX, they have a few different great ones. I'm not going to get more into the details, but the good thing is that next week we'll be having a better conversation with these wonderful privacy guys. And I'm looking forward to see this alpha deal. I hope you too. And again, if you want to make sure you get a secure allocation to these beautiful alpha deals, it's all based on your Borger rank. So if you have a higher Borger rank, the higher chance you'll get into these deals. And for those that have a very high Borger score, that is almost a guaranteed allocation that happens, which is really, really cool and shows how much we put value into the Borg token. Another great events turning out is we got finally 5.2 for our beautiful score. Sustainability score means that we're in the money, which is really good. And this is going to be very good for the budgets for the Guardians, because the higher the sustainability score is on a quarterly basis, the higher essentially goes the Guardians of the Borg. So this is a budget for Borg. So this is really, really cool. Regarding though the Borg data, nothing great, to be honest. We're not even at 52K, which is quite sad. Things have not been pumping too much. Regarding the app as well, it's pretty much same. A little bit more KYC thanks to Italy in the campaign. So grazie mille per tutti ragazzi di avere telechargiare e di utilizzare l'applicazione SwissBorg. I hope that was right. I just been improvising. Now the community index last week was 5. Pretty much same as last week. It's pretty much the same thing. Nothing. Maybe the Borg itself didn't do too great, and social as well. But nevertheless, not a great week, not a bad week. So guys, I hope you like the new battle royale. How we're going this is proof of community, where essentially the projects, in order to get listed, have to bring a big amount of users and to convert them and to become Borgers. This is a great strategy how we could able to tap in these huge communities and bring some more love to SwissBorg. So if you have any feedback or you want to give us any other more battles that we should do, I'll be very happy to do that. Please don't tell me mother versus father. I know a lot of people have said that internally. It's just that, I don't know, the Tate guy is just too much for me. It's too intense. He's probably a nice guy, Andrew Tate, but it's just I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad, but just doesn't sound like a good guy when he's on the social media platforms. But anyways, how we could do that in the future would be really cool with other different battles of tokens. I would love to see that. I'll be very meritocratic as well. This last speech was something huge. We are still playing around with that 65 and 70,000, but that is what it is. I heard that order limits we're playing around right now, so maybe something's gonna happen very soon, and I'm very excited about that. It's a big game changer for SwissBorg. Finally could do really trading through SwissBorg, whether in vacation or not in vacation, just could do your things, right? So that's gonna be really cool. And last but not least, as always, be healthy, be wealthy, love our boring equity. Much love, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching our weekly powwow episode. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to leave a like. And if you didn't, tune in next week anyway, so that you can figure out if it's better then. Bye.